Hi, this is Quinlan from Go North Japan, and today I am out in the wilds of my living room. Yeah, instead of going out hiking, I decided today that I wanted to take a few minutes to show you the things that I bring with me on day hikes around here in North Japan. A few people had asked me what I bring with me, what's in the bag, and so this video is to answer that question. Little disclaimer, I'm not a professional anything in terms of the mountains. I'm just an enthusiast. So I go hiking as often as I can, which can be a couple times a week sometimes, or at least once a week during a lot of the year. A lot of what you bring maybe is common sense, but I think there's a couple things that you wouldn't think of. So just to cover everything, I want to show you briefly all the main things that I bring. First, obviously, sun protection. I used to be really casual about this and not even wear a hat, just put on sunblock and think, it'll be okay. But after some really bad sunburn and just sort of exhaustion that you get from being out in the sun all day, I've started getting better and better about the sun. And so I bought recently an actual full-on hat with a brim. It's like one of these hiking hats. And I bought this shade that goes in the back to cover your neck, and man, does it make a difference. I also bought this little clip so I can hook it to my collar. Maybe looks silly, but I'm out there to have fun and not to look cool. And so yeah, it's really great. And of course, SPF50, lather this on 2 or 3 times a hike. I don't really wear the sunglasses much, but I bring them with me. I do wear them definitely if there's snow left. So if it's spring or later in the fall, then you go out without sunglasses on a snowy day when it's the sun reflecting up at you and your eyes turn bright red. It's a bad scene. It hurts for a couple days afterwards, seriously. So that's more or less what I do for sun protection. I always bring a headlamp with me. I've only needed it once, but man, that one time, it was good to have it. You might stay out in the mountain after dark, and then having this is really a lifesaver. It's this one charges by micro USB, so it has a long battery, but even if the battery were to wear out, I have a charger that I also bring with me that I can connect to the headlamp and recharge it quickly. And this also, of course, works for my phone. For navigation, it makes sense to bring a map and compass. However, in my hiking up here in Japan, I'm going to areas that aren't that vast and don't go off the trails, and I know the trails really well, and so I haven't been doing that. However, for my smartphone, there is a really great app that I recommend all of you download if you're gonna really do any hiking in Japan. Though all Japanese people know about this app, so it's not like some secret or anything, but it's Yamap, Y-A-M-A-P, and it'll show up in English if your phone is set in English, or in Japanese if your phone is in Japanese, as most glorious smartphone apps do this day. And you can plan hikes out in advance with it, and when you're actually hiking, what you can do, well, before you go hiking, is you download a map of the area onto your phone, and then even if you're somewhere with no reception, you still have your location working with all modern smartphones. And so with the downloaded map, it shows you exactly where on the trail you are, so when you get to a junction, you know which goes where. There's even little times written on it. There's even a little water droplet on the map in areas where there are water sources, so you know where you can fill up your canteens. It's really, I can't oversell this app, Yamap. It's worth it. Bears are one thing you may not be used to, or there may be different common sense. I know how you act around bears is totally different in the States than it is here. I don't know anything about the brown bears in Hokkaido. I have not done hiking in Hokkaido, so I'll leave that to someone else. For Honshu, the main island in Japan, specifically this Tohoku area, we have Asiatic black bears. Tsukino-aguma, they're called. And for them, the common sense is the much hated bear bell. And I know a lot of people don't like the sound, you find it's annoying, but when you're actually hiking, you just tune it out. You forget that it's there. You don't even notice that you're wearing it. It really just ceases to even bother you. And then I generally do hike with one of these. I also bought from a mountain guide straight up pepper spray. And you call it bear spray, and I know this is a little controversial. I know some hikers will say you definitely don't need it. I think people are divided on if you should have pepper spray on your hike or not. There's not really any reason not to have it. It's not like heavy or anything. You strap it on your belt. It's not in the way. Why not? For me, when I'm hiking alone, it just makes me feel a little bit safer, so that if a bear did, for whatever reason, let's say a cub was behind me, the mama bear's there, decides to get all aggressive, I could do this. And I've heard numerous accounts of people spraying And yeah, the bears run away, even if you don't even hit the bear. Someone sprayed this, hit the wind, actually got them, and they were miserable. But just that was enough to make the bear run away. So this will make bears go away. Might be overkill, but there's so many bears around here and such regular occurrence of injury by these bears that for me, it just makes sense. A lot of what I carry is camera gear. I've got, of course, my GoPro. I've got ridiculous amounts of GoPro batteries. I've recently also started hiking with a little Sony camera that I got recently that I use for talking. It's nice because GoPro, everything's in focus. When they do this, it can blur the background a little bit, which is nice. This monster is the remote control for my drone. And this is the case for the DJI Mavic 2 Zoom. And between this, the extra batteries, 2 of them, it's a lot of extra weight. And so when I'm hiking with all my camera gear and doing a hike that's going to take 6 or 8 hours, I have to bring a big 38-liter backpack. Sometimes if I'm not bringing the drone, I feel like I'm walking on air because it's then I can bring this tiny little backpack here, just water, snacks, and it's so much easier. In terms of how much water should you bring, I'll talk in terms of the mountains that I promote. The main mountain I promote is Mount Iwate. And so if you want to do Mount Iwate, drop me a line. Maybe I'll see you there. But Mount Iwate, I would say minimum 2.5 liters. Certain trails, though, have places where you can refill the water, but if you're not going to pass by a water refilling spot, then minimum 2.5, 3 liters of water. I'd say for some of the longer routes, definitely 3 liters of water. And if you're going with a group, bring more than you think you need, because inevitably someone going with you won't bring enough water, and so you can share. And not just water, but also the sort of electrolyte refilling drinks. In Japan, that's Aquarius, Pocari Sweat, things like that. If you don't want to bring a plastic bottle, good for you. I'm trying to reduce my plastic bottle use. I'm not perfect yet. You can buy packets of the powder to make those drinks, so you can just put them into the cold water in your canteen, and you've got your electrolyte drink. In terms of extra clothing, in the summertime, don't need that much, but you always want to have a raincoat. So I've got this little raincoat, windbreaker, that dries quickly. It protects you from rain. It's perfect. In the spring or when it's colder, then yeah, bring a fleece vest or something that's really compact, lightweight, that'll keep you warm. It's good to have extra layers. I also bring a number of things in case of emergency. One of them that's really easy is this space blanket. You can see I've never even opened it. I've left it in the package here. But these cost like $3 or so anywhere. In fact, I got 2 of them because there's another one inside my first aid kit. This is just sort of a shelter. It keeps you warm if you got hurt and ended up having to spend the night. It's not a sleeping bag, but it keeps you really, really warm. The first aid kit is just a cheap set. To be honest, I want to replace this with an actual hiker's one. It's got Band-Aids, some taping, a scissors, some disinfectant, some swabs for cleaning stuff. It's fine, but I should probably get a more compact one that's specialized for mountains. I'll do that soon. A lot of people say it's good to have a knife, and so naturally, I always carry a knife with me. No, I'm kidding. I don't even know what this is for, to be honest. I think it's for fish. This actually is a nice knife. It was in my house when I bought my house here a couple of years ago, and I just have it for shock value. No, I mean, this is fine. If anything, this is too thick and too heavy. I need to buy a nice little knife to carry with me. That's another thing of my kit that I plan to improve soon. Hiking, doing day hikes in Japan is so much fun. There's so many great places to go. There's a lot of excellent areas you can access without even spending the night, though there are some great areas where you should spend the night. I hope it'll make you a little bit more comfortable in challenging some of the beautiful volcanic hiking areas and mountains here in northern Japan. These hikes are so worth doing, and I hope you get a chance to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the trails.